April 7th and 8th is the Critical Care On the Air Radiothon for STARS. Your chance to support this vital service that delivers life-saving care to Albertans. Listen for stories from STARS VIPs, very important patients, and how STARS has made a difference in their lives. You'll also hear from members of the STARS team April 7th and 8th. The Critical Care On the Air Radiothon for STARS, presented by BHP and Parrish and Heimbecker. Please donate and help keep STARS flying and saving lives. Visit criticalcareontheair.ca. Tomorrow and Wednesday is the Critical Care On the Air Radiothon for STARS. Your chance to support this vital service that delivers life-saving care to Albertans. Listen for stories from STARS VIPs, very important patients, and how STARS has made a difference in their lives. You'll also hear from members of the STARS team tomorrow and Wednesday, the Critical Care On the Air Radiothon for STARS, presented by BHP and Parrish and Heimbecker. Please donate and help keep STARS flying and saving lives. Visit criticalcareontheair.ca. The Critical Care On the Air Radiothon for STARS continues, presented by BHP and Parrish and Heimbecker. Your chance to support this vital service that delivers life-saving care to Albertans. Yesterday, you heard stories from STARS VIPs, very important patients, and how STARS has made a difference in their lives. You also heard from members of the STARS team and other key contributors. Today, as the fundraising efforts continue, please donate and help keep STARS flying and saving lives. Visit criticalcareontheair.ca.
You've heard some very moving stories already today from some of STARS VIPs, very important patients. You've also heard from their families, their friends, their co-workers, and they've shared their inspiring stories of survival. It is incredible what STARS is able to do, and that is all thanks to your support. STARS' mission is to provide critical care anywhere. And they have bases in Alberta, in Saskatchewan, and in Manitoba. And they have flown more than 63,000 life-saving missions. That is an incredible contribution to the community, to the province, and really to the country. And you can help ensure that they can continue to fly those life-saving missions by making your donation today during the Critical Care On the Air Radiothon. Text STARS to 45678 to make a donation of $20. You can also make a donation online, criticalcareontheair.ca, or call 1-877-507-8277. Each dollar will make a difference, and each dollar can help make sure that when a patient is in need, critical care is never too far, thanks to STARS. Once again, you can get more details and make that donation at criticalcareontheair.ca. The Critical Care On the Air Radiothon continues today. Funds raised through this radiothon directly support STARS' life-saving operation and the advanced training of their medical crew. STARS' mission is to provide critical care anywhere. That means that they are able to reach people in sometimes areas that are not so easy to get to. But thanks to your support, STARS is able to support people right across the prairies. They have operations in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. And you can help them continue their mission by making your donation today. 1-877-507-8277 to make your donation. You can also donate online, criticalcareontheair.ca. No matter who you are or where you are, everyone should have access to emergency care services when they need it most. Since the beginning, STARS has operated on that belief, and they continue to operate under that belief. You can help ensure that critical care is available when needed across Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba by making your donation today. It's the Critical Care On the Air Radiothon for STARS. It's presented by BHP and Parrish and Heimbecker. And there's a number of different ways you can support this important organization. You can head online right now, criticalcareontheair.ca, to make your donation. STARS has grown and evolved over the years, but they have never wavered from the belief that where you live, work, or play shouldn't impact your chance of survival. They specialize in the most acute, life-threatening illnesses and injuries. When the very worst happens, STARS will be there, and you can help ensure that they will be there when that need arises. Another way you can make your donation today is to text STARS to 45678. That'll make a donation donation of $20, and that's going to make a huge difference. Keep listening to hear from more very important patients today on the Critical Care on the Air Radiothon.
STARS has been supporting the community since 1985, and as STARS has grown and evolved, they have never wavered from the belief that where you live, work, or play shouldn't impact your chance of survival. Maybe you enjoy those weekends away at the lake, and yes, it is a bit of a drive to get there, but the peace, the calm, the tranquility, the connection with your family, it is worth it. Sometimes an emergency situation can arrive, and STARS operates on the belief that no matter who you are or where you are, everyone should have access to emergency care services when they need it most. And you can help ensure that they can continue to operate with that belief by making your donation today. criticalcareontheair.ca. That's one way you can make your donation and also find out more about STARS and the great work that they do. You can also text STARS to 45678. That will donate $20 to support STARS, and you can give them a call, 1-877-507-8277, to make that donation today. Dollars raised go towards supporting STARS operations across Saskatchewan, Alberta, and Manitoba. Make that call today, send that text today, or head online right now, criticalcareontheair.ca. STARS, they specialize in the most acute, life-threatening illnesses and injuries. When the very worst happens, STARS will be there thanks to your support. Their team's advanced, focused expertise in critical care makes a vital resource for doctors and other emergency responders. And with your support today, STARS can continue to operate on the belief that no matter who you are or where you are, everyone should have access to emergency health care when they need it most. There's a number of ways that you can make your donation today. You can head online, criticalcareontheair.ca. You can call 1-877-507-8277 or text STARS to 45678 to make that donation now. When every second counts, it is vital to have STARS. Critical Care on the Air Radiothon, brought to you by BHP and Parrish and Heimbecker. It is an opportunity for you to support STARS and support their mission to provide critical care anywhere, where you live, where you work, where you play, and where you travel. That shouldn't impact your chance of survival. And when every moment counts, make sure that STARS is available to head to wherever you are to provide that critical care. It's like a flying ICU. That's how incredible STARS is. And when a patient is in need, it's never too far. And it's never too small of an amount that's going to help make a difference. You can donate $1, maybe it's $5, maybe it's $25. It is going to make a difference, and it is going to go towards critical care provided by STARS. And they have operations across Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba as well. Text STARS to 45678 to donate $20 right now. You can also donate online, criticalcareontheair.ca.
From the Critical Care on the Air Radiothon for STARS, presented by BHP and Parrish and Heimbecker, here's STARS' very important patient, Joel Irwin.
We talk about it specifically as it relates to sort of being in remote areas, which a lot of time it is. I think it's incredibly crucial that some of those accidents which result in injuries, if we didn't have STARS to transport us to medical facilities in a safe and quick fashion, well, you know what the alternative is a lot of the time. And so you're not on a highway that has a bunch of cars going by. You're in remote areas on a mountain. So without STARS, you'd be completely screwed and dead or paralyzed in my case, and so it makes all the difference.
This STARS moment brought to you by Sask Energy. Make your donation by calling the Bungie Lifeline, 1-877-50-STARS. From the Critical Care on the Air Radiothon for STARS, presented by BHP and Parrish and Heimbecker, here's STARS Chief Clinical Officer Cindy Seidel.
There are a number of ways that people can get involved. You can reach out and organize a fundraiser within your service group, bake sales, golf tournaments, and any kind of an event like that. We sell calendars year-round. You can support us by selling a calendar. Our STARS lottery, it's in Alberta right now, and it'll be launching in Saskatchewan within the next couple months. That's one of our largest fundraisers ever. There's also the opportunity to become a monthly donor. So there's any number of ways that you can be involved.
This Stars Moment brought to you by Capital Power. Make your donation by calling the Bungie Lifeline, 1-877-50-STARS. From the Critical Care on the Air Radiothon for Stars, presented by BHP and Parrish and Heimbecker, here's Stars Foundation Vice President Jerry Lynn Johnston.
Stars operates on a unique blended funding model that combines support from government as well as community, corporate donors, individual donors. And the donations that we receive from people across the 3 provinces is critical in enabling us to deliver the very best critical care when and where it's needed most. We are just so grateful for the chance to share the STARS story through events like Critical Care on the Air Radiothon. These events really do give us the opportunity to highlight the connection between STARS and communities in which we serve. And the Radiothon also provides just incredible support for our mission.
This Stars Moment brought to you by Capital Power. Make your donation by calling the Bungie Lifeline, 1-877-50-STARS. From the Critical Care on the Air Radiothon for Stars, presented by BHP and Parrish and Heimbecker, here's Stars' very important patient, Chad Rogers.
My recovery was probably as good as it could have been. Coaching hockey and curling and coaching ball. And I mean, there was times for sure early on when you didn't know what was going to happen. And that, again, I've said it in some of my speeches, but I mean, I don't know what we did before Stars. It was, we didn't get a chance to have this outcome, right? Whether it's recovery or living, right? It was that time factor and the specialized tools they have just help in every aspect for sure.
This Stars Moment brought to you by Westridge Construction. Make your donation by calling the Bungie Lifeline, 1-877-50-STARS. Critical Care on the Air Radiothon for Stars, presented by BHP and Parrish and Heimbecker. Here's Clinical Operations Manager for Stars, Darren Ebner.
You never know when you're going to need that service, and then whether it's me or my family or anybody's family, you never know when you're going to be needed. And so it's things like this, like the Radiothon, that allow us to do what we do. It's not just as simple as jumping in an aircraft and running there. Our training and education, and it's not cheap to run a helicopter, and so things like this allow us to continue that vision of providing exceptional critical care for everybody, not just those people that live in communities that are close to the major centers, right? So we can take that aircraft, which is a flying ICU, and put it right exactly where that patient needs, and like I say, transport that patient and get them to where they need to be.
This Stars Moment brought to you by Westridge Construction. Make your donation by calling the Bungie Lifeline, 1-877-50-STARS. From the Critical Care on the Air Radiothon for Stars, presented by BHP and Parrish and Heimbecker. Here's Emma, wife of Stars' very important patient, Dawson Mullenbeck.
Now, 6 years later, it's like there's things that I notice and that I pick up on because I live with him, and I lived with him prior and, throughout, and I've seen those silent struggles that not everyone highlights. But we always tell our friends and family, he's 98% him. Like, everyone's gonna see him and just think, oh wow, he's like totally himself, which is a blessing. But it doesn't come without the odd reflection and moment of reflection in the day where you just go, how did we manage getting that lucky? Because not every patient is that lucky. They come out with maybe much worse traumas, and so very fortunate there that he's here and able to live and do the things that he loved.
This Stars Moment brought to you by PTI Transformers. Make your donation by calling the Bungie Lifeline, 1-877-50-STARS.